Yeah, so it's good to have him back.
John, so you have a decision to make, like if Frank is here, you still will decide whether Weber plays, or
Yeah.
is this an emergency call-up, do you know?
Emergency.
When you look at the season series against the Kings and the way that you have played them, even when you guys were healthy in the first half of the season, played them hard. You had the game that got away from you here, but not able to beat them.
No.
How do you think you guys stack up, match up against them?
Well, it's not for me to go through that now. We need to try to find a way to win. We have problems with all the California teams. LA being one of them. It's a really good team. It's a big team. It's found its way after the Olympic break. Again, I'm not going to dissect all the things that's happened against them. We're trying to play a good, solid game tonight. We're going to have to if we're going to have any chance to beat them.
Obviously, they don't give up much. I mean, you've been
No.
you've been on your team all year to try to get to the,
Yeah.
the blue paint. And all those.
Yeah, you look at the stats, and it's goals for, power play, they're very similar, except goals against. And they, I mean, Quick is a very good goalie, and they play a hard defense, and they're where they're at with it, because they play well away from the puck. And so we have our hands full. So it's another game, and we're trying to get better.
If you look at your power play this year, and it's been an issue, and it was the other night against the Rangers, in a nutshell, I mean, goals aside.
You're asking me questions for the end of the year, I think.
No,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, you had the chance the other night to tie that hockey
Yes.
game, the power play, and it
Yeah.
backfired, and it's happened a few times. I just wonder, is there one thing outside of goals that hasn't been there?
Yeah, well, I think one of the biggest things with our power play is our patience with it, getting it set up, some movement with and without the puck. It's been stationary at times, but someone really to control it, to run it, has been a struggle. Webby has the big shot, has scored a couple goals, but as far as the overall movement with and without the puck, it's been a little stagnant at times. And quarterbacking it has, we just haven't really found a guy consistently enough to quarterback it.
Does that need to be a guy from the point yard for you, or does Henrik kind of used to run it off the half wall there? Do you mean a defenseman that can run it?
Yeah, well, you need some help there. Yeah, I think when Henrik was running off the half wall, who was the point man? Who?
Garrison early, Edna.
Yeah. Again, I believe both of them have to have that type of presence to run it, and I think we've struggled a little bit in our back end as far as that's concerned. Yeah, so it's a sore point. Readily admit that it's a very big part of us not winning those certain one-goal games, and we've played in a lot of them. It has been a struggle, and it's hurt us this year.
Eddie, tonight? Is it Eddie?
Eddie's playing tonight, yes.
Just looking at something like that, then, how free are you to experiment for the remaining few games? Just to see what the difference.
For who? For the power play?
For the power play, for.
Well, it's not like we have 8 or 9 players. The spots I'm talking about, we're not really, we don't have a bunch there as far as who's going to quarterback it. To me, it's not about experimenting. I consider we can continue to try to work on it with our personnel that we have, that we think is the right personnel for it. So we'll continue to do it that way.
Thank you, George.
Okay.